Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, you're not in the stage. Are you on the stage?
Aren't you live?
No.
Huh?
Can but you can.
Yeah,
I can't hear you. There you go. I hear you now.
we're live, sweetie. I'm about this the countdown, but it's a live countdown.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Hey everyone, this look like we are ready to do this once again. Thank you for coming, participating with us with the Becoming podcast. This has been a wild 3 weeks. This is our third podcast, and I'm really excited because tonight we have our first guest. We have none other than the incomparable Tania Stewart, who will be joining us on the second half. But hey, that's enough about hearing me talk about what's going to happen. So why don't we just go ahead and start the show? Let's go. So, and we're back. Definitely excited about having Dr. Stewart. She'll be on the second half, so she'll be coming around about 8 o'clock. We still have a little work to do. We have made some progress. We made some mistakes since the last time we talked because, like I said, this is like a social experiment for me about how do I go from one plateau to the other. I told everyone last week that I'm starting a new venture called Tech Fusion. This is a tech startup. It's in technology. I never thought that I would have inventor behind my name, but I do. I have been blessed. We have 3 pending patents, and we have a couple more that's getting ready to start. And we're going in a place that I've never gone before. It's kind of like doing the filmmaking thing again, but kind of on steroids. So I have long said that we can do anything. What 10 years of being in filmmaking has taught me is that, you know, this is doable. Success is a habit. We can learn and unlearn and become who we were meant to be. We talked about things about what I'm overcoming, and I'm doing this in real time. One, to get over my fear of exposure, because I suffer from the survival personality called the hidden one. And I encourage everyone to start looking into what your archetype is, because if you don't have that knowledge, then how can you get into this thing that we call alignment? You got to know what we're aligning to and what are we aligning away from. So I had a moment last week where I came out of a meeting and I felt the need to record what was happening. I recorded how I felt because I knew I was going to come back to the podcast to talk about what was going on in that moment. At the moment, these feelings were very raw. They were very real. So I decided to record it so I could have to come back and talk to you all about what was wrong with what I did, or why shouldn't I have done this, or what was right and what was wrong. So check it out and we'll talk about it. So I am just leaving a meeting with another tech founder in media tech. For those of you who didn't know, in the midst of Jackson Film Festival, I'm launching a new tech company, media tech, which is insane, I know, but it seems like that's the way my life goes. But the Becoming podcast has been a lot about dealing with those feelings and me using this as a social experiment to prove what I've always said in the last 10 years about filmmaking, that if I can do this, then you can do anything. So this is me documenting the journey, but also recording the things that I think are important to kind of help encourage you as you see your dreams and make it happen. Listening to the guy speak about some of the things I'm up against, my stomach is literally in knots right now. I'm queasy because he has an innovation, and some of the big boys reached out to him and they said, well, hey, we're just going to tie you up in litigation because we think it's similar to what we're doing, even though it's not. It's just how that world operates. And so this is truly another David and Goliath thing, but hey, I chop cotton for a living. I chopped cotton when I was a kid, rather. So, hey, I feel queasy, but I don't know how to not stop. And I just believe that this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm not going to stop. Y'all take care. So when I came out of the meeting, man, I literally was shaking. I was scared. I was like, what I'm doing. And then I have another friend. You got to be careful which friends you talk to. So all my friends had to sign NDAs before I could tell them in specific about what's happening. And one of my friends said, oh, man, you better be careful because, this is the thing. You can be lying in a corner stinking, basically means someone to kill you. And, I already had this fear because who am I? Who am I to say I'm going to take on the world in such a way, in such a profound way, that I'm going to disrupt an industry in a way that has never been done before. And so when I left that meeting, all those fears were pervasive on the inside, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I went online and I talked about what I felt because I knew I would have time to go back and think about what happened. I knew I would have time to say, hey, what was going on here? And that queasiness that I was feeling after I got home and started breathing and started going through my routines, I started realizing that queasiness was not fear, but it was my nervous system. It was my nervous system transitioning. So it was like an excitement because even though externally, consciously, I felt like I was not enough or I was afraid, on the inside, there was something saying you can do this. And that was in conflict with what I thought. But that knowing on the inside was saying you can do this. And I think we all have that knowing, but it's that thing in the front of our heads. It's that survival personality that we have. And mine in particular, the hidden one archetype, is one who has great ability and they have a great drive to make it happen, but they fear being exposed. They fear people seeing them. And that fear was fighting destiny inside of me. So what did I do? What did I do in the last couple of days since that video? I was honest. I let those feelings, I sat in those feelings. I sat in them. I didn't try to deflect. I did not try to ignore them. I didn't try to act like everything was okay. No, I allowed myself to feel it fully. And I started asking myself, what are you trying to tell me? And what came to me was, this is our moment. And who said that we had to do what this guy did? And I gave myself long enough to allow that still small voice to speak to me and say, hey, you're not trying to fight anyone, because all I've known how to be is a fighter. And that's really what was dying inside of me, that need to fight. Because I felt like I had to fight to be heard. I felt like I had to fight to be significant in people's lives. I felt that I had to be 20, 30 times better than anyone else to get half the credit. So what I'm moving out of and moving into is I am just enough, just showing up. I don't have to prove anything to anyone, but I've been doing it for so long, it takes time to kind of come out of that. And I don't know who I'm speaking to tonight. I don't know if you feel that need that you have to always fight for everything that you get, that you have to prove yourself all the time. But what I'm learning is that I don't have to prove anything, because if I am in alignment with myself, if I am in heart and mind coherence, that means if my heart and my mind are together, then I am literally the magnet. I don't need a scheme. Even tonight, I hope you can tell that I'm a little more comfortable than I was last week, because I feel a little more comfortable. Now, I'm not there by any stretch of the imagination, but I am more comfortable because those first two episodes, I kept feeling this need to prove something. Let me show them that I'm smart. And I had, my perfectionism was going crazy because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to say nothing. In that moment when I couldn't see the comments at all, you thought I was going to commercial because that was the right time to go to commercial. I was going to commercial so you wouldn't see me hyperventilate on air. So when I was going to the commercials, I was like this. I'm breathing. I'm doing everything I can to catch my breath, and I'm trying to regulate myself and then come back in and act like everything was cool. But I was on the verge of hyperventilating because I could not see. Part of the hidden man archetype, there's two attributes that are part of it. And I think I still got it from, let me see if I got it in the banners here. One was called the silent genius, the hidden one. Okay. So let's go with the hidden one here. The hidden one learns to survive by dimming their light, masking their brilliance, need or truth to avoid rejection, chaos, or abandonment. So that is a constant fight that I was having over and over and over again, especially anytime that something was coming to expose me. But one of the attributes of that is what is called a silent genius. It don't look like I have it here, but what a silent genius is a person who can quickly scan the room and determine how much are you going to show of yourself. Are you going to turn up or turn down? Because you want to be a chameleon in the room. You don't want to bring too much attention to yourself, and you don't want to be irrelevant. So when the comment section went off, I had nothing to feed off of. And that's why I freaked out, because my survival skills had none of the things that it needed, so I could quickly adjust on the fly. Because if I can see your comments, then I can adjust. I'm like, okay, they're getting this. Oh, they like that. So let me play more into that. But what should I have been doing? What I should have been doing is asking myself, what is the truth? What is the truth that I want to resonate in tonight? Am I speaking the truth? That's something that I feel from the inside. That's not something that I'm trying to prove to anyone. That's not something that I'm trying to impress someone with. That is me speaking truthfully about what resonates on the inside of me. And what resonates on the inside of me is not going to be for everyone, but it's definitely going to speak to the people that it resonates with. And isn't that the people that we really want to be around anyway? Isn't that really the people that we want to have relationship with? Those are the people that we want to have life with, the people that we resonate with. But we are attracting people to us that are not in alignment with who we are, and we don't understand why. It's because our signal is faulty. Our signal is clouded because we're trying to be whatever we think folk would be, and that's manipulative, to be honest. That's why you good-hearted people are attracting manipulative folk into your life, because you are afraid to be who you are. So, and if you're not being who you are, you're being a fraud. And I'm not saying that in judgment. I'm saying that's because that's how I live the majority of my life. I live my majority of my life as a fraud. Not that I was fake and that I was lying. I lived it as a fraud because I wouldn't show you all of who I was. I couldn't show you everything because I was afraid you would reject me. Because of what I went through as a child, I felt like as a child, You can't bring too much attention. You can't shine too brightly. You can't be too smart, because if you are, then you're setting yourself up to be a target. And that had a great deal to do with me. So, but let's introduce some of our sponsors on tonight. One of our sponsors is Twin Docs Healthcare, Tia Beasley, Dr. Beasley. I am very proud of Dr. Beasley, because not only is she a super intelligent and generous soul, she's also an upcoming actress, and she'll be screening at the Jackson Film Festival on Thursday during the 100th, where she'll be starring in the movie Touch, that was written, directed, and produced by Jessica Evans, one of our own. So look, if you need some health care, mental health, anything like that, definitely reach out to Dr. Tia Beasley of Twin Docs Healthcare. Also, we have some other sponsors, and we thank you so much, because listen, we can't do this stuff without support. We can't do this without your help at all. We literally cannot do it. So we are going to have some other sponsors. We are going to be on the second half tonight, and I hope you stick around to 8 when Dr. Tania Stewart comes on. I promise you, this is a conversation that you definitely don't want to miss. We got about 15 minutes before she comes in, but we're going to kind of keep talking a little further about some of the things that we went. But at this time, let me sneak my commercial in real quick so we get it out of the way. I hope you're planning on coming to the Jackson Film Festival, because listen, the Jackson Film Festival is transformative. And it's not just for people who are filmmakers. This is for anybody that got a dream. If you have a dream and don't know how to get from where you are to where you want to be, you need to come to this class and become it. You need to come to Dr. Stewart's class. I'm not just saying it. I'm going to have some proof at the 8 o'clock hour about how Dr. Stewart has transformed. She has receipts. I'm going to show receipts because she don't want to talk about them. She don't know it. I hope she don't get mad at me. But if you have a dream and you just sick and tired of not seeing it manifest, I'm telling you, no one believed that I could be a filmmaker. And I've done it for 10 years. And now I'm getting ready to go do something that's even crazier than being a filmmaker. And I'm having you to go on this journey with me, see my mistakes, see it in real time. I come back here every week and talk about what succeeded, what didn't work. And I'm going to still talk about more about that conversation, and I'll bring it back up after this commercial. But I want you all to really see how it happens. You know, a lot of times you see the finished product when a person's like made it and then they're like, ta-da. No, I'm saying, look, you're going to go on this journey with me, mistakes, successes, fears, and all. And I'm going to be 100% transparent, and we're going to be 100% honest. And at this is time we can talk, because you can ask questions about certain things, and I'm going to answer you truthfully. So, but look, stick around to after the commercial.
Hey everyone, this is Maximus Wright, and I want to talk about a masterclass that I'm teaching at the Jackson Film Festival, Tuesday, July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. at Tougaloo College. It's the masterclass called Becoming. Becoming is a combination of the 10 years that I have lived being a filmmaker full time, the craziness, and how I survived. This class is not just about how to become a filmmaker, but this class is about how do you take a dream and go from nothing to actually making it happen. We're going to reverse engineer all the things that I've learned, and we're going to share those secrets with you. And this is not just about becoming a better filmmaker or a better dreamer or a better entrepreneur. It's how do you have joy along the way? Because joy was something that invaded me in a lot of those years that I was being, and I was making this great dream happen, but I didn't have any joy. So I want to share this with you, because this is not just something that I think works. This is something I know works, because I've been sharing this with my family and my friends, and now it's time that I share it with you. So join us Tuesday, July 22nd at 6:30 at the Jackson Film Festival at Tougaloo College, so I can share Becoming with you. Thank you.
Hey man, listen, I'm telling you, I'm not just telling you this because I'm teaching the class. I am seeing the results in people I care about life. I'm seeing them change right before my eyes. I'm changing right before their eyes. So after I had that nervous attack, almost panic attack walking out of that meeting with the tech director, I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? So once I settled, once I breathed, why is breathing important? Why you breathe? Because breathing shifts you from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. And what that means is fight or flight. Breathing brings you back into rest and digest. Because if you're in fight or flight, you can't think. You cannot think like you need to. The frontal lobe is just it's just overridden because those neurons are firing so fast because all it's trying to say is get your stuff and get out here as quickly as you possibly can. But when you start getting into rest and digest, then the body relaxes, the digestive tract relaxes, the muscles relaxes, and now you can think with your executive functions and you can think more clearly. So once I got out of that panic mode and started to really breathe and relax, then I could hear the spirit speak to me again. I could hear my body have a conversation with me again. And one of the biggest things is like, who are you going to fight? You don't have to fight anyone. So my strategy is not to go attack or to take over. I'm going after the people that no one is looking at anyway. I'm going after independent filmmakers, independent musicians. I'm going after the independents and creating a whole nother system. We're not trying to take away from anyone. We're looking to build something that's never been built before. I see something that everyone else doesn't see, and I'm going to help the people that no one else has wanted to help. So then my strategy, the strategy that the spirit was giving me was like, look, you don't have to have this fear because you're not doing something. You're not trying to take money out of someone else's mouth. You're trying to create something that didn't exist before for someone who's underserved in the first place. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to come to us, and we want them to, but it gives us time to build a structure. So what happened today? Another thing that happened was I reached out to a television exec who's been doing this for 20 years at the highest level. And I told them that I wanted to have a meeting to talk about this invention. And I said, I need you to sign an NDA, and I want to know if you would have this meeting. They were like, sure, of course. So when they agreed to have the meeting, I immediately went into panic because then I said, well, what if they tell me this already exists? What if they tell me, oh, this is nothing special? And I mean, literally, I started going through depression. I started getting sad as if it failed and I hadn't even had the meeting yet. So if that wasn't bad enough, the idea came, well, what if they like it? What if they say this is mind blowing? And now I got to show up. Now I got to prove this thing. So, I mean, my emotions were kicking my butt the whole weekend. I mean, I was being tossed to and fro, just like the scripture says, you know, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Literally, I'm seeing it. I'm being tossed back and forth because I am terrified that either they're not going to think it's good enough or they're going to think it is good enough. And now I got to show up and prove and be all those things. But I went back to the training. A lot of this training, we're going to go in detail at the class about how do you self-regulate out of that? How do you come out of that mental place? How do you get to that place of peace? Because a lot of times we don't have peace. We talked about terms such as interoception. Interoception is when the body is speaking to you. And literally, my right hip was tight. My right calves were acting up. Anything that's happening on the right side of your body is pretty much anything that deals with structure, it deals with support. And I was feeling the lack of support. But the lack of support was not to come from someone else. It was to come from me. What was I saying to myself? What did I really believe? And I had to really face the truth. And once my body started saying, look, you don't support us. So how are we going to support you? How are we going to believe that you have our back? And when I made a promise to myself that I am going to support me, I am going to do whatever it takes to believe in me. And I said, look, give me some grace, but I am making this commitment to believe in me. And as I said it and really meant it, I started to feel my body relax. I started to feel the tension ease. And then I started to feel a calm to come over me that I never had before. So when I talked to that executive and I said, well, hey, you know, we could have this meeting. She said, oh, yeah. She said, sure, yeah. Well, first, let me wrap up this stuff with Kendrick Lamar, and then we can get together. And when she said Kendrick Lamar, everything went out the window. I panicked again. I'm like, oh, God. And I had to go back through the whole process again. So that's the thing. How many times you need to go through it? You need to go through the breathing, the relaxing, and the talking to yourself as many times as it takes to bring you back to peace. That's the real work. The real work is not in the business plan. It's not in the pitch. It's in having the alignment in peace inside your body that you need, because that is the real algorithm. That is the real magnet. Because when you come into alignment, there is there's a magnetism about you that will go out and make things happen in your favor. And I started seeing things that I've been worried about the whole week just start happening like clockwork. Things started happening. Agreements were made. Understandings were had. But I hadn't had this meeting with them. I had that meeting today. I had that meeting with them today. And this is how I started the meeting out. I said, hey, they came on, they were tired. We had a Google meeting. They was like, look, I've been through a whole lot. I've been up all night. I'm really tired. Just show me what you got. I said, well, look, I'm just going to show you this first video. If it does not excite you, then we'll just get on off, because I'm not looking. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to this person. I am not looking to try to convince anyone if this is a good idea. I'm just trying to find who I should work with, who this resonates with. So I showed them the video, and they just kind of looked for a minute. And and I've been knowing this person for a while. Don't get me wrong. I've known them for a while. They asked me, who are you? And I'm like, what you mean, who am I? They said, look, you ain't that smart. How did you come up with all of this? I said, well, I'm that smart now. And they just started getting exciting. And then I said, well, let me tell you how I got to this. And I started explaining to them about becoming and how becoming has been changing my life, how becoming has been opening up. Because as I've gotten peace with myself, now my brain can function at the level that it can function, because now it trusts me. I don't have pains in my body, because every pain that you have is a message. It's a message to tell you that something is wrong. If you listen to what that message is telling you and make the correction, then the pain leaves. There's no reason for it to stick around. The tension is a message. The irritation is a message. The skin rash is a message. Anytime your body is doing something out of equilibrium, it is talking to you. And interoception is not just some phenomenon. Google it. Look into it. And to help you better understand interoception, we've all experienced it to some degree. That no one told you that pain in your stomach meant that you was hungry. But guess what? It's time to eat when you feel that pain. No one told you that dryness in your mouth means that you're thirsty, but you need to go get something to drink. So your body has a language, and what I'm in the process of, and I'm teaching others to do, is that this language is almost like a foreign language that we have to relearn. We have to learn how to communicate with ourselves. And what I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt is that communication is changing my life. And I want you all to know that it's going to change your life as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to keep going through this thing, and I'm going to show you and share with you what works, what doesn't work. But right now, that executive that is currently working with Kendrick Lamar, she's trying to put a pitch together to come show me based off what I shared with her today. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? The person that I was afraid to show this pitch to is now creating a pitch for me based off the technology that we are making, and has not even come to full fruition. I had to text her back and say, now, we're still building the technology. She said, yes, I know, but I see where you're going. Why is that so important? So many of us are trying to only impress the people around us by being something that we're not. But the people that we're supposed to meet and are there to help us are going to only be attracted to the real us. They're only going to move when the real us show up. They're only going to respond once the real us show up, because that's where the algorithm is supposed to go. The self-algorithm inside of ourselves, that's where it's supposed to go. The real us, the real you, is what activates all this magic that's supposed to happen in the world. But you have been taught to be everything other than yourself. You're right, Esther. Authenticity is the key to open up the magic kingdom. And I'm not talking about the one in Disney. I'm talking about the one that you can live every day. My life is not perfect, but I tell you, I would not trade it with anyone for anything. I'm here to tell you that my life is like wonderment every day now. And the more and more I keep stepping into this, the more and more I keep getting a little more comfortable becoming myself and becoming the real me, the me that I'm rediscovering again. All these challenges, these things, they're just to help reveal me to who I am. And that's what I want you all to see. I'm taking this journey, mistakes and all, and I'm gonna help you see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and shoot another commercial out real quick. Hopefully, Dr. Stewart will be joining us real soon. But if you have not gotten y'all's tickets to the gala, please do so now.
You know my heart goes crazy when you take the list of time. Let's explore our love. We'll leave the world behind. Can you feel me, baby? Ooh, yeah, yeah.
All right. I tell you what we did tonight, Dr. Stewart. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet, but once she comes on, I'm so excited about this conversation because she is such a remarkable person. She is someone who's believed in me very so from the beginning. But this segment is brought in part by Kincaid Dental. Definitely Latasha Arrington, Dr. Arrington, if you need dental, if you need cosmetic, general, I went to her very recently and she was very gentle. I was so afraid because I've gotten hurt by dentists before. And so I was always kind of leery about going to the dentist, but she has definitely been a great supporter of the festival, and now she's been helping us with some of our dental needs. So if you need a good dentist, by all means, reach out to Kincaid Dental. Also, Sinette Langston. If you need your Humana health needs met, Sinette Langston, one of the sponsors of the show tonight, definitely reach out to Sinette. Sinette and I grew up as kids, and she has been the same wonderful soul as when we were kids up until now. A real sister to the festival, have been there to support everything that we have done since the beginning. Always shows up, always in a good spirit. Never, I don't think I've ever seen her in a time where she was not giving some part of herself. So we're grateful for Sinette on tonight for being a support. We're going to give Dr. Stewart some more time and whatever grace she needs to come because this is a new platform for us as well. So I don't know if she may be having some problems logging on, but I just sent her a text, but we're going to give her whatever she knows. It's just 8 o'clock. We're going to give her whatever she needs. So I don't know, do any of you all have some questions? Maybe I can answer some questions as we wait for Dr. Stewart to come in here. Looking through some of the comments here. Let's see here. My sister talking about she would have fainted if she would have known that was Kendrick Lamar and T.I. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Dr. Stewart's calling. I'm going to mute y'all for a second. Yeah. See if that works. Okay, did it tell you to type in your name? Okay, type in your name. This is a learning curve for us all. So now click on the camera and mic. Now click those things so your mic and camera can come on. You see me? Okay. Okay. I see you down at the bottom. Do you got your mic, your camera on? Yeah, I know you can hear me, Tiffany. I'm taking this as a learning opportunity. Okay. They would need to connect their mic before they can add them to the stream. Mic and cam. Did you connect your mic and camera? Okay. Do you see like where the mic got the little slash on it and your camera has a little slash? Okay, click them to take the slash off. It won't do it. Okay, I think your mic kicked in. Let's try to see if we can get your camera. Uh-huh. Yeah, try your camera. Your mic is working now. Uh, yeah, I see you, but you don't have your camera on yet. Okay, you see where the slash is over the camera? Try to click that. Try to click where the slash is. Okay, well, I'm gonna bring you to the stage and we'll figure it out. Well, I'm gonna bring you on and we're gonna go from there. We'll talk and we'll figure it out. Okay. I said I'm gonna bring you on because I think your mic is working and we're gonna figure out the rest. All right. All right. Dr. Stewart, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, so you're in here. We just don't have the camera on, but that's all right. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, well, look, I am so grateful that you're here with us tonight. I am just pickled peaches pink. You hear me? You have been such an inspiration to us, and I just cannot thank you enough. Oh, you left us. Uh-oh. She left us. Oh, she'll come back. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me, we're going to go to a music break while I go help her out.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. When the cares of this world surround me and I can't seem to find my joy, and it feels like my faith is dying, 'cause I'm leaning toward compromising. My heart is searching for truth, 'cause my mind don't know what to do, till I realize that this ain't my demise. 'Cause in my Father's eyes, I ain't no ordinary man. I ain't no ordinary man. I've got this power within. I've got this power within. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. When the enemy is up against me and it looks like I'll be destroyed, I remember that the one within me is greater than the things that I face. And my faith starts rising like flames, and my fear starts fading away. 'Cause I realize I'm on the winning side, and we can't lose a fight. I ain't no ordinary man. I ain't no ordinary man. I've got this power within. I've got this power within. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. You can't hold me. You can't stop me. You can't block me. Whenever I fall down, I never throw.
Look, I know how hard you had it and all of what you've been through. But I knew you were special the first time I laid eyes on you.
'Cause your love is the only place for me.
Stop with the pity party. You are the only person you got to be concerned with, all right? You and that little girl.
That's when my heart is free. What else is there for me? What else is there? What else is there for me?
All right, Dr. Stewart, you there?
I'm here.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you there? You hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, can you see me? Oh, oh wow. Right when we had it going. Okay. So, well, this is the learning curve in real time. So, other than this, I would normally be freaking out because we couldn't get the technology done. But this is part of the messiness of it. I wanted to start a podcast and I wanted to learn how to do all the technical things, and that's exactly what we're doing tonight. Learning in front of these 7 people. I'm glad it ain't 1,000. If you stuck around all this time, you got to love me. You got to love me. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much that you stuck around. So look, at this time, we're going to entertain questions. If anyone has questions until we try to figure out what's going on. And if this doesn't work, we'll be back. We'll come back and we can get on another call. Okay, I can call her. Let's see if I call her. I think Tiffany said maybe we're here on the call. Let me call and see if this will work. Y'all let me know if y'all will be able to hear or not. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I got you on speakerphone here. I just want to see if everybody else can hear you. Yeah, but we got the feedback. Can you mute your mic on the
The telephone?
Not on the telephone, but on the TV. She hung up the phone. I think she can hear me there, but I can't bring her up. I can't bring her up. Let's try it again. I'm undeterred.
So you want me to mute my phone?
Not the phone, but the TV, the computer now.
Okay, now the computer mic is on.
Okay, all right. When I bring you on this time, don't touch nothing, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring you on. All right. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, don't touch nothing. You perfect. Look, it took us a minute, but we're here.
Yes.
Look,
And
thank you
see,
so.
I can see what my name is, but I don't see my camera.
Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about Dr. Stewart. Everybody know your voice. They believe it's you. They know I ain't making it up.
Okay.
So look, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Listen, we lost her again. Can you believe it? Oh, well, hey. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna probably have to do this at another time because 3 times the charm. It didn't work tonight. Oh, there she is again. There she is.
When
Okay,
my
that's good.
phone goes out, it's controlling the computer. So I'm going to leave the telephone on.
Okay, cool beans. All right.
Okay. I'm here.
All right, good. So listen, we're gonna jump into it since we ain't got enough time to warm up. Listen, the last couple of years that you come to the festival, and you have been a part of the festival for all 5 years. When we first started, you agreed to be a part of what we're doing. What in the world? Why did you even agree to do something like that?
Because of Maximus Wright. And in truth, because I love the state of Mississippi, and I know that there's a wealth of talent there. And I know that there are a lot of young people, older people, experienced actors who worked with colleges and community theaters that really want to excel in the media, performing arts. And I understand now a lot of movie work is actually happening in Mississippi.
Mhm.
So when you called me, I felt very privileged and humbled that you thought enough of me to call.
What? Listen, you've been teaching this class since the beginning. And it's just amazing to me. It seems like in the last couple of years, and you tell me if this is true or not, it seems like you're fervent. It's like you become more fervent. It's like the fire has gotten stronger in these last couple of years. Do you feel that? Or is that, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I tried to start off slow. I've been excited from day one. And so I even question whether I'm enough. So this year I'm bringing with me a friend that has done practically all of August Wilson's shows in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And she's extremely talented. And she is a being actress. She didn't know that she was being.
Mm.
And I said to her, you are a being actress. And so she has agreed to come, and I hope that she'll be able to still keep that. And I think when she comes, she will be also a welcomed acting coach to the film festival.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your vision of trying to help others in the state of Mississippi, that has always been my vision. And now it's my vision in the state of Alabama as well. But when I lived in Mississippi, born and raised there, but when I was working there at Jackson State with Melina Dow and B. Moore and Gwen Chalmers, and working with the music department, and then working at New Stage Theater, where I performed. I think I was the first African American lead actress at New
Really?
Stage. Oh
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
in the production member of the wedding. But
Mhm.
and then I got to know Ward Emmerling, who was a young Millsaps guy, student at that time, and became the director of the film commission. We locked arms and we worked side by side for years. And I saw the joy and the pleasure and the validation on the faces and in the eyes of young and old. And it really made me feel good that I could be that vessel to make that connection for them. Ward would do location scouting, he would do all of the recruiting for the films, and I would get out there and try to find the talent, be they young, old, black, or white, it didn't matter. If I got the description of the character, I would go out to find them. And having New Stage Theater there was a wealth of talent that we could find from the Caucasian side. And at Jackson State University, there was a wealth of talent that we could find on the African American side. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Let me see. Can I mute that call? Just
No problem. No problem at all. Dr. Stewart.
I'm back.
Okay, go beans. Go beans.
So working together like that, we work together. And when you offered me the opportunity to work with you, I saw another chance to work together with someone that was not being selfish, with someone that was not being uppity, that was not being above others, but someone that was reaching out to others. I saw your that you did a show and you brought it to Alabama Stadium. We went to the Student Union building and viewed the film, and I was impressed with your talent. So when you have a young person like yourself reaching, doing the best that he can with very little and not a lot of support from the community, first you didn't have that support. It's growing now, and I'm glad to see that. So you never know where people will end up. You never know. So
With that being said, I have known you and admired you for at least about 8, 9 years now, I think. And there are things I'm still finding out about you. And we talk. I mean, I can call you up and you will talk to me, like you will share your wisdom with me. But there's some things you kind of kept secret from me, and I had to kind of find out on my own. And I was
like
like,
what?
what? We're gonna, I'm gonna let you see here. It's nothing bad. You did tell me you reached out to me after you went on the Today Show to support your former student Twitch
Yes.
before he passed. But I did not see the rest of that interview about your other students. So we're gonna show a little snippet of that right here, and we're gonna see we'll let you have your thoughts on this after it goes off.
Okay.
I'm like, do I need to be ready? No, just sit down right there.
What's it like to see Twitch again?
It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Following you all of this time. And then he came back a few years ago, about 6 years ago, to help with the camp. I'm just so grateful to God for all of them. Twitch came to us breakdancing.
Yeah. We're trying, huh? Yeah, absolutely.
And at the same time, determined, focused, so kind, smiling, didn't say a lot.
Really?
But always watching, always involved, and ready to help somebody.
You are super special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The fact that you knew when you said that you were around greatness.
That's right.
And you felt that deep down.
I did.
Absolutely.
I knew it.
And she and what's great about this too, y'all, is she instilled this in us. And I say us because I still remember sitting amongst the group that we kind of came up in, and she would just instill that confidence in us every morning, every rehearsal, she would always pour into us always.
So it wasn't just Twitch. In fact, you've impacted so many people that we've had some of your former students. They went on to incredible careers, and we tracked a couple down. Take a look.
My name is Charlie Hudson III. You may know me from The Night Of on HBO. I am a proud student of Dr. Tommy Tania Stewart. I just have to say thank you so much for being a blessing to me and to all the students that you've taught. Every year I learn something new and special from you, not only about the arts, but just about life in general. Thank you so much. Love you, Doc.
It's Marcus Henderson from Tacoma FD. I just want to give a special shout out to a very special lady, Dr. Tommy Stewart. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. You deserve everything that is coming to you in life. Tall trees catch much wind. I'll never forget it.
Yep.
I'm Timothy Warehill. You may know me from my animated short, Cops and Robbers. Dr. Tommy Tania Stewart. She laid the foundation for me. It is that belief in me that she had or has that continues to drive me today. Thank you, Dr. Stewart.
My name is Benita Hamilton, and I play Shenzi in Disney's The Lion King on Broadway. Dr. Stewart, I don't know if you know this, but you changed the trajectory of my life, and for that, I say thank you, and I love you.
I mean, you see, Doc, you just made such important waves. You really did, and that was just that was just a few, but like.
But you have done so well. All of them have done so well.
You didn't tell me you didn't tell me all those folk came on the Today Show talking about how bad you were. You didn't tell me about that.
Listen, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I'm grateful. And it started right there with students at Jackson State University in Mississippi. Many of them have made great strides as well. Hollywood, Broadway, New York, equity theaters around the country. They are doing extremely well and teaching. Many of them are educators and they're passing it on. So yeah, it's almost impossible to bring up a list because we're talking about 48 years in higher education.
Wow.
20 at Jackson State and 28 at Alabama State. And then during the summer, in both cases, I had summer camps with young children. And now they are lawyers and doctors, medical doctors. They're doing it.
What gave you that audacity being a girl from Greenville? Greenwood. From Greenwood, Mississippi, and you said, I want to be on television. That's strange for even now. But for someone who got 48 years in higher ed, but then as a little girl, what in the world gave you that audacity to think you could do that?
A man named Frank Silvera. Yes. You see, my desire growing up in the Delta in Greenwood, Mississippi, around a lot of illness in my family and our neighborhood and our church, I wanted to be a medical doctor. I won science fair projects, made it all the way to the state. I got all kind of medals for my science fair projects. I was studying the pituitary gland. That was my biggest project, just to try to understand how a person could become a giant or a midget. And I injected some biddies, baby chicks. Made a lab at my home on the front porch right there in Greenwood. I was into the sciences. Dr. George Washington, who was married to Dr. Dora Washington at Jackson State, gave me a scholarship in the sciences, in biology, to attend Jackson State. Of course, I also had scholarships in music for singing at Mississippi Valley State and for acting at The Ohio State University. I ended up taking the one at Jackson State because it was not too far away from home, and not knowing that by the time I graduated from college, home would not be the same because my mother died during my junior year of high
Oh,
school.
wow.
So I still wanted to stay close by so that I could go by her grave and go home. My aunt, Leela Graffreed and James Graffreed, my uncle there in Itabena, Mississippi, became my foster parents. So I it was not my doing really. I did have the dream of marrying a jovial guy, tall and handsome, that would trip over the rug when he walked in the room like Dick Van Dyke. And I married a Dick Van Dyke. I really did. So Alan Stewart. uh, and then I also, as I started working in productions with Miss Leola G. Williams at Threadgill High School, decided that one day I'm going to go to Hollywood. I just want to see California. So, but God, I'm not asking you to make me a millionaire. I always pray to not become a millionaire because I think they go crazy. So I said, just let me be a penny away from it.
Be a penny away from it.
A penny away. That was my childhood dream.
Right.
And while at Jackson State, one day my professor, E.J. Fisher, who had seen me in competition that Leola G. Williams had put us up for state competition all the time. And when I was at Jackson State, he saw me as a freshman, but I was a biology major. And when I left biology one day and walked over into his office, and he said, I've been waiting for you. I'll never forget it. He said, I don't know why you didn't come straight to me when you got here in the first place. And so then I told him, I said, I can't deal with those hairy animals in biology. And he said, well, you're in the right place. I've been watching. This is where you belong. You know, you had one plan, young lady, but God has another. And sure enough, I found myself steps ordered by God. It was never my real desire, but I learned to love it. And when I graduated from college, my junior year in college is when Fisher told us to go to the bulletin board and apply. He said, all of these offers, I'm putting them on the board, and none of you are paying attention to it. I want to see 7, and I want to see letters from each of you that that you have made an application. Well, I'm known to go overboard, so I made 7 applications.
7.
And one was to Yale, one was to Santa Barbara, and one was to the Ohio State University. And I don't remember where the others, but it was 7. But of those 3 that I named responded to me positively. New Stage Theater came into play because I had done the play Member of the Wedding as their first African-American leading actress. To do that show, I played the role of Bernice. And at New Stage Theater, I was talking to them one day in rehearsal about going to Yale, and one of the members said, well, wait a minute now. I have a friend that's at Yale, and we'll send you there. I said, but I have to go on an airplane. They said, we'll do that too. So New Stage Theater put me on that plane and sent me to Yale. And the friend that she had was a practicing law student, was studying law, and he's practiced law in Mississippi now. He was out of town, but he left the key with a friend to pick me up from the airport and bring me to the apartment, give me the key, and I had it all to myself, I thought.
You thought?
Until one night, after I had gone for my first part of the audition, one of his other friends had a key and had come into town with his girlfriend, and they were in the apartment, and I hid under the bed all night.
Wait,
they
hold
never
on.
knew I was there. I was scared to death.
Hold on. You hid under the bed the whole night?
All night.
It wasn't the bed that they slept in, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I did. Oh, Lord, I was so glad when they left the next day. I rushed to the bathroom as fast as I could. And I got my shot, and I made it to my second part of my audition. I was put on the alternate list because there was a student from Africa. They love foreign students there, and that got the first offer. In the meantime, UC Santa Barbara made me a first offer, and I took it, and that's where I met Frank Silvera. And when Frank Silvera auditioned me, along with Georgia Perot and Owen Dotson from Howard University, Georgia Perot was a renowned director from Yugoslavia. They all liked my talent, and Frank Silvera said, "Girl, you're cooking." He said,
So I want to interrupt you right here because what I want to get to and what we're trying to do with this podcast is called Becoming. You know, what made you feel okay to take those type of risks, particularly coming from a place like Greenwood? Because a lot of times people don't think they feel good. You don't think they're good enough. So what was it? Where did that confidence come from? Was it? I know it's prayer, but what?
It definitely was prayer.
Right.
Anytime things begin to work without your taking that step, without your doing it, I've always been taught to understand that that's God. So you have to let go and let God. And when I'm just talking about Yale, New Stage Theater's staff and board members took the mantle and said, "We're going to put you on that plane. We got your ticket and we got your place to stay." I didn't know anybody in New Haven, Connecticut. I didn't even know the folk at New Stage thought that much of me. I just knew that I was there and they were kind to me.
Right.
So I said, "Okay, that's God."
So you just said yes.
Yes, I did. Yes. I took a deep swallow, got on the airplane for the first time in my life and flew to New Haven, Connecticut, and trusted that the person that they had identified to meet me at the airport and get me to the apartment and that I would be safe, I trusted God.
How much do you attribute your success from taking steps just like that?
Every bit, 100%. It's not me. None of it is me.
And all of that.
That's what we have to get our young. That's what Frank Silvera was all about. The image that the world or this country, this nation, tries to convince us as to who we are, that's not us. We've got to know that we are the vessels that God made us to be. We are who He said we should be. If our eyes are crossed, that's what He said. We didn't do it. If you got knock knees, you didn't do it. If you're skinny, you didn't do it. If you're fat, you didn't do it. If you got freckles, you didn't do it. That's the hand of God. He's the major architect. And Frank Silvera said that America is a melting pot. And we don't even validate ourselves to have our own style, our own method. We borrow, we edify. Stanislavski, Boleslavski, Germans, Russians, everybody but ourselves. But when you look at who we are as a nation, we are a blend and a mixture of all cultures. We're the only nation that truly practice freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Every other, if you go over here, that's a Muslim country. If you go over there, it's that country. If you go, this Catholic, it's whatever. But here, we can be Muslim, Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, Jewish, Baha, whatever you see what I'm saying? So he said, that's who we are. And
So
that's who we are.
So was it big about? So was it big about accepting who you are and loving that?
That's the key. Because if you don't, who will?
So you accepted who Tommy Tania Stewart was early on.
Had to.
And how did that work for you? Because it obviously worked for you. But accepting who you are, because that's what a lot of us are struggling with. We don't know who we are.
That's right.
and if we do, we're afraid to fully be that person, fully embody.
That's
But
it.
but every time I met you, you're totally who you are. No matter what room we go in, you're you.
That's right. And you're you.
I'm working at it. I'm
You,
working
you
at it.
are. And you have a way of standing back, observing. I've watched you.
Yeah.
And you're not of a lot of words until somebody asks you to speak. Because you guard and protect Maximus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know Maximus. But a lot of people don't know who they are, so they don't guard it, they don't protect it, they don't believe in it, they don't trust it. They wait on somebody else to say. And I was brought up to believe in myself.
You was brought up to believe in yourself.
I was brought up to believe in myself. Because my family it was different. On my mother's side of the family, there's a certain mindset. On my father's side of the family, there's a certain. So my mother told us all the time, you got to know when the Harris is in you and when the Leonard is in you. When the Barnett is in you. That's the Barnett coming out of you. That's why it's so important to know your history. And as long as people can deprive us of our history, strip us of our background, rob us of our truth, we will never know who we are.
So I know you created a lot of yourself to Frank Severo. And that's what you're going to be teaching at the festival. You're going to be teaching what you learned from him, the theater of being.
Exists. Here and now.
Can you explain a little bit of what is the basic concept of being from an actor standpoint? Because to me, I've always felt like this wasn't just a class good for acting. I think this is a class good for everything.
It's a theory for life. It's a theory for existing. It's a theory to understand what it means when you say you are enough. People say that a lot now, but I don't know whether they really understand it. But I'm glad they're at least saying it. I am enough. In a love affair, I am enough. As a child, I am enough. As a sister, a brother, do all that you can to give all that you can and be all that you can and know that is enough. You can't make anything else of it. We love ourselves. I'll never forget, B. Richards said to me one day, she said, sister, love yourself. She said, you love your back. You go and you buy nice clothes to put on it. I said, yeah, and nice coats. I said, oh, yeah, and keep it warm. Yeah, but have you ever seen it? You seen what? Your back. Thea, no, you haven't, and you never will. She said, hey, you never will. You look in a mirror, and if the mirror has a crack in it, you start digging at the crack, thinking it's on your back, but it's in the mirror.
It's in the mirror. Wow.
So you've never seen it. It's like the heart that we say, it hurt me to my heart. We worry about our heart. We want our heart to be warm and cozy and fuzzy and protected, but we've never seen it. And the day we hold it in our hands and see it will never happen.
No, it won't.
The God we serve, we've never seen him either.
No.
The air we breathe, we've never seen that either. So the most important things about the human experience is what you don't see. It's what you got to know. You know you have a back. You know you're breathing air. And you know there's a God. You may not agree with him, but he has to exist, or we wouldn't. So it's a lot. Frank Severo brought the mindset of a lot of things. So when it comes to acting, when it comes to working, to painting, to arranging music, to setting the lights, to dressing a character, give it the spirit and the thought and the intention that's needed for it to give us a real experience. Being is based on experience. It's not just the words. It's the experience. Frank Severa says the experience comes before the words.
Right, right.
When you experience something, then you try to talk about it, tell it, explain it, revisit it. But you can't revisit something that hasn't happened.
No, yeah, you can't. You can't.
And it's kind of mystic when you talk about it. And it's difficult for people to grasp the sense of it. So everybody is not going to be a being performer
Right,
or artist
right.
or human being, because too many of us want to hide our experiences rather than grow and mold and step on it and move forward. We rather bury it, pretend it didn't happen, tell ourselves we would never, but we did.
Right.
And it's experience. And whatever you feel from that experience, wherever direction that takes you, you've got to know how to say to that thing that this too will pass. And as it passes, it becomes a part of your computer chip that you can use when you need it.
So, what is next? What is next for Tommy Tania Stewart?
Or working with living the life, just completing the things that come to mind that it feels like that's what God wants me to do. And one of the things is something that you said to me that we want to do, and that is to train and get people ready so that when opportunities come, they can walk right in the door and they'll have that resource, that training. You want to help them with the camera. You want to help them with script writing. You want to help them with sound. You want to help them with lighting. I want to help them with those same things, but I have to help them by getting you to do it because I don't know. So if we can get Alabama and Mississippi talents, a lot of folk have been photographers at weddings, and sometimes the folk don't like the pictures and all. But the people that you know and the skills that you have can show them how to use that same talent and become a location scout.
Yes, yes.
And have a very clear picture of what these locations are in Mississippi and what these locations are in Alabama. And these young men that's running around in the streets, shooting at each other over nothing and killing the mama's baby child, will have something else to direct their interest to.
I'm gonna pivot on that for a second, and we're gonna close. Because I normally keep it 45 minutes, but I had a bunch of technical things we were trying to figure out. But you said something to me that was very powerful when Twitch died. You said you wish you could have got to him to share more of being with him because you think it would have saved his life. What do you think would have that you could have shared with him that probably would have saved his life?
Well, he wasn't in the classes that I taught acting when you make it to acting 2 and acting 3. And I haven't gotten to that even with the Jackson Film Festival acting sessions. And that is finding the strength in facing death so that you'll know how to live.
Okay, hold up. Finding the strength
in facing
death so you can know how to live.
Yes.
Okay. Say more.
Say what now?
Say more.
Okay. You heard the young lady on the video that said you changed the trajectory of my life. Bonita Hamilton Caesar. I think it's her 21st year now in Lion King, and now she is not only playing Shinzi, she's playing the leading role. Um, she and the young lady that's been doing it for a long time. Now they've moved Benita up, and Benita is her understudy, and will eventually take that role more than likely if that young lady, retires or whatever. But they're grooming her for that role, and I'm trying to get the proper name of the role. But it's the one that when they go na at the beginning.
Yeah.
She performed it last Saturday and got all kinds of reviews. And she just did it as an understudy and carrying the African language, everything. She's so powerfully talented. In my class, there's an exercise that I do, and I took her to do that exercise, and I thought for a minute I was going to lose her because it was very, very difficult for her and painful for her. And I remember when we got a chance to just settle down and talk. I said, I just want everybody to just don't talk to anybody. I want you to digest what you just experienced. And I want you to be able to express what you really, really felt as a result of the experience. And out of all the students, she was the one to make the statement. She said, I want to go first. Tears were streaming down her face. She said, that experience made me understand what it means to live. So I have some students at Jackson State that I got that far with. Jay Hunger is one of them. Bernard, he has another name now. He's in Hollywood. He has a pretty fancy name. He was one of them. Um, Lawrence Evans was one of them. Several of those students, I'm trying to think of the child's name. She was so funny all the time. Mary Holden. Mary Holden. She was one of them. These were my students that I really poured into. Oh, I can't forget my Reverend Pearlie. He was outstanding. I remember him at Jackson State years ago with that. I took him through the experience. And another student went through that experience, and he came back to the campus and just jammed his fist into the walls. I could never get him to speak about it. He was just so torn up. And that's why I haven't gone that far with this group at the Jackson Film Festival. But it's an exercise that I take the students through. But I have to be sure who I'm dealing with.
Understood.
Because you have to have a mindset that I can overcome. I will. I am somebody. I exist in a complete and perfect state, and I lack nothing. And for you to say that, lacking no essential characteristics, that's saying a lot.
It
You
is.
understand what the words mean. So that is what being will do for you. And that is the step that I'm working on now. I'm working on putting it into a manual. And I think if God allows me, I will have my first draft finally ready. I'm bearing down on it right now, by the 1st of August. And of course, my Candace right there at JSU, she's helping me and coaching me, and your input has been invaluable because you do understand being. You articulate it well. And my friend with the radio show, we went to her home and recorded. She was,
Ms. Sanders.
what is it?
Mrs. Sanders. She actually want to take you out to dinner when you're here.
Look, that's my girl.
Yeah.
And she is so real because she has had to walk that line between life and death. She understands.
Yeah.
And she is
I don't know
real.
if you know this, but we did the pilot for her for a movie, the pilot for a television show, and it will screen that Wednesday when you come in. So if you're not too tired, she definitely will want you to be there.
What time is that going to be?
I think that's 6:30.
Okay.
6:30
I
that
would
Wednesday.
love to see it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll get together on that because
Yeah.
I just think she is phenomenal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to bring you back. Maybe after the book is finished, you can come back and we can talk, and hopefully we can try to push some sales for this new book that's gonna be coming out. Hopefully, a little
I
after.
believe the book will be hot off the press because it will tell. I'm hoping to leave that for Frank's legacy, for B. Richard's legacy, and for mine to show just what I understood he was teaching, because Frank never wrote it and Bia never wrote it. And Frank said it's too difficult to write. It's hard to explain because people have questions in the corner of their minds and they don't know how to ask the question. And he said, I don't know how to answer it
Right.
unless they ask it. So my professor, Dr. Floyd Gaffney at Santa Barbara, was trying to get the notes and all together. And then he just one day said to me, Frank told me I'm just not the one to do it, that you got to do it. And that was years ago.
Right.
All the notes that he had and all the material that Frank had, his children gave me. And I'm plowing through it to try to make sense of what the American theater being is. And when you see people perform like Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer and what's his name from This Is Us? I just love his acting.
Mm-hmm.
He is a being.
I know you're talking. I can't think of his name right now.
Sterling Brown. When you see Sterling Brown, and you see my man Marcus Henderson, my student, and you see Benita, and you just go Charlie Hudson and Antonio Woodard, and my daughter-in-law L.J. Stewart. When you see them perform, you see being.
Yes.
Get wrapped up, pulled into their world because it's real. You're witnessing something. It's not. If this would happen to me, I would do it this way. No. It's happening. I've allowed my body and my soul to be loaned out to this character in this that's written on this manuscript. I've allowed my body to let them come to life. And how do you do that? It's not easy.
Right. We're not going to give it all away. They're going to have to come to the class.
Okay.
The rest, they got to come to the class to get the rest of it. And I cannot tell you how excited we are just to be part of your life and be part of, in a small way, of what you're doing. Because you've been nothing but a blessing to us. And
you've been a blessing to me to give me the opportunity to come home and touch my brothers and sisters there. And I invite white, Mexican, whomever, different nationalities. It has more to do with the individual than it has to do with race.
Yes.
It has more to do with your talent than it has to do with acting.
Right.
It has to do with what and who you are.
Right.
And what you have to give, and to acknowledge that you have that gift.
Well, I tell you what, we thank you so much. Like I said, we're going to bring you back to talk about this more, but the Theater of Being is July 23rd through the 24th at the Jackson Film Festival. I believe it starts at 1? Is it 1?
1 o'clock. Mm-hmm.
Starts at 1. It's a 2-day event. Definitely, you can see the discount codes on there on the website. But look, you do not want to miss this event. We are so grateful to have the gift that is Dr. Tommy Tania Stewart. So until the next time, I will see y'all then. Dr. Stewart, thank you so very much for being with us on tonight. And I know we'll be talking between now and before you make it back.
All right. Love
All
you.
Right. You too.
Yeah, Esther and Candace. I love them too.
I'm going to tell them. I think Esther can hear you. She's on live tonight.
Oh, okay. That's my baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get Candace in. All right. We'll talk to y'all next week. Next week with the podcast. But come to the festival. You can see her in person.
That's right.
Y'all take care. All right. Okay, you there?
All right. I don't
Yeah.
understand this camera. What happened? I don't understand.